everybody. We're making War Su Gai here at the Young's house. One of my favorite recipes. I make this recipe once every 2 weeks. It is so delicious, super simple to make. If you make it Gina Young style, you're gonna love this recipe. Here's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need some chicken. Now, when I make War Su Gai, I like to use the boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I have washed my chicken thighs off using lemon juice, salt, and cold water. You're gonna need to make a lovely batter. And so for our batter, we use 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 1 egg. We used a half a cup of cold water plus 2 tablespoons of cold water. We used 3/4 of a cup of flour and a half a cup of cornstarch. We also used 2 teaspoons of baking powder. You're gonna need a really interesting ingredient. We have salted peanuts, but we'll talk about what we'll use that for later. You're gonna need some broth. I'm using chicken broth. You can use a vegetable broth, whatever kind of broth you have. You're gonna need some chicken bouillon powder. We're gonna serve this recipe with the flavored rice, and you're also going to need some fresh iceberg lettuce and fresh green onions. Make sure your hands are clean. Let's make delicious War Su Gai. And if you're not sure what War Su Gai is, what it is, it's a nice, beautiful, golden brown battered chicken served with a lovely gravy over a fluffy bed of rice. Hope y'all are having a great day today, and if you're not, hopefully I can brighten up your day with this here recipe. Have you ever tried War Su Gai? Have you ever tried it is the question. I'd love to hear from you below. And then the next thing is, you should definitely try this, making it at home. It tastes 100% better than what you can get from takeout. Not saying that takeout isn't delicious, because it is, but once you learn how to make it at home, Gina Young style, you're gonna say, my goodness, it's so simple to make and it tastes good. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and take our chicken and cut it down into bite-sized pieces. Okay, just like this. If you want to trim a little bit of that fat off, absolutely you can. This is about the size that I want my pieces to be. If you got little tiny pieces and you're cooking big pieces, what happens is those little pieces will be done way before those big ones are done. You want everything to get done around the same time, right? Absolutely you do. So let's get our chicken thighs nice and cut. And I'll go ahead and answer this question now. Can you use chicken breast for this recipe? Absolutely you can. So if you want to do that, by all means you can, and it will be super delicious as well. Let's continue to cut up our chicken just like so, and then I'm going to batter it. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna season this meat, okay? And I'm not gonna be afraid to season. I want to taste the flavor, right? And you do too. I'm going in with salt. If you cannot use salt, leave it out. I'm putting some black pepper on, nice amount on purpose, right? And I'm putting onion and garlic powder, and I'm gonna let these spices kind of seep down into this gorgeous protein at least for a half an hour. And I want for the meat, I want the chill to come off of the meat. When the chill comes off of the meat, it's always gonna cook up nice and perfect for you. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Let's kind of mix everything together, get the spices all over the chicken, and then we let it sit. And so now we can go ahead and start heating up our oil. I've got about this much oil in my pan. What I'd like to do is allow for my chicken to kind of rise up in the oil so it's not sitting at the bottom of the pan. Because if your chicken is going to sit at the bottom of the pan, it's going to get burnt. So put enough oil in there so it has room to float up. And here's our batter that I spoke of that we made with those ingredients. And so now here's what we're gonna do. Let's get our chicken into here. I let it set with the spices for a half an hour. Once that oil gets nice and heated up, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, it's going in the oil. I may have to cook 2 large batches. I got a lot of chicken. We love this chicken. And you will on our oil to heat up for our chicken. Let's go ahead and make our flavored rice. So as you can see, I have some oil in the bottom of my pan, and what I like to do is coat every piece of rice in the oil. We want this to get a nice, beautiful golden brown, nutty color. And then once that happens, we're going to add in the seasoning packet and 2.5 cups of cold water. After you add the water and the seasoning in, you let it boil for 1 minute and then turn it down on low and cook that thing for 20 minutes. Colors that I'm looking for. Gorgeous color we have there. Put that seasoning pack in and then kind of back up because this gives you a lot of steam. There's the 2 cups, and then I'll come back in with that other 1/2 cup. Let it boil. Turn it down on low 20 minutes. Turn that oil in. Once you see that nice sizzle, you're moving in the right direction. But what I don't want you to do is pile this chicken on top of each other. If you pile it on top of each other, it'll stick, right? We don't want that. Just make sure that it has its own place and don't bother it. Don't bother it right now. What you're wanting to do is you want for this chicken to develop a nice, beautiful, golden brown crispiness that we all love when we go to Asian restaurants. If you've ever wondered, how do they get their batter so amazing? This is the recipe. This is the absolute most delicious recipe you're going to need to make that golden brown batter that you love. Chicken cooks up and our rice continues to cook. Now we're going to chop our side dishes. I like to call it a side dish because this is what you use to eat your chicken with. You're going to take a piece of fresh iceberg lettuce and scoop up the gravy. Absolutely you are. Pile your chicken onto it, right? Put green peppers or green bell. What is it, y'all? Tell me in the comment section. Green onions. So now, these green onions serve for great taste, but not only that, a garnish, okay? I'm chopping all of it, not the white parts. The white parts is a bit strong for me. So we're gonna put this onto a nice platter, just like so, quick and simple. This recipe may look a little complicated, but just trust me, it's not. It's so easy to make, and like I said, we make this once every 2 weeks. We can't live without it. It's so delicious, and by far, this is going to be one of your favorite recipes if you just give it a try. There's so many people that's afraid to try a new recipe. Try it, guys. All right, so now that we have that, let's go ahead and I'll show you what I do with the lettuce. Just like this, so we can take a nice scoop and grab everything up and eat it. So just a couple of these we're gonna set there, and now we need to crush some peanuts when I come back. Peanuts can be salted or unsalted. I like to use the salted. Okay, so we're gonna take some, we're gonna put them into a bag here. Make sure you push the air out, of course. Okay, I'm just gonna use the back of my frying pan, knock the daylights out of that thing until you're able to break them up a little bit. If you crush these too much, they'll turn into powder, and that's not what we're looking for. We're not trying to make peanut butter, right? So just a couple times around, and you're good to go. Look at this chicken, y'all. So as you can see, it's finally developed that batter that we're looking for on the outside. But is it the color that we're looking for? Absolutely not. What I'm wanting you to look for is that nice, beautiful golden brown color, that crispiness that we all love. And if you're wondering what's the temperature this should be, the internal temperature will be 165 degrees. That way you know it's done. We're gonna make our gravy that you must have. This is how you make it super simple, and it tastes so good. Okay, so we're gonna take the whole 32 ounces of our chicken broth. We're going to flavor it up. And we will be flavoring it up with chicken bouillon powder. Okay. We're going to use some onion powder, a nice amount. And we're going to use some garlic powder. And guess what? That's it. But you do need cornstarch to thicken it, okay? So when we put our cornstarch in, you'll be using about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. You're going to mix it in a little bit of cold water, and then we pour it into this after this comes to a boil. Once we pour our cornstarch slurry in, literally your gravy thickens up right before your own eyes, and you have a simple yet delicious gravy every time. Let's go ahead and make up our cornstarch slurry that's going to thicken up our gravy. Here's our 2 tablespoons. Let's see, I'm going to kind of, there we go. And I got just a little bit of water in there. All right. It takes a minute to really mix the two together because that cornstarch can be a bit sticky. Once you have it nice and incorporated, we'll set it aside until this begins to boil. Looking at that chicken, are you kidding me? It's gorgeous, it's golden brown, it's floating. And that's another thing that you always want to look for when you're frying up some chicken. Once it's floating, you know it's on its way. Take that first batch out. Look at that. You guys, right now, you couldn't imagine the smell that's coming out of my house right now. Honestly, if you walk past the house, the windows are open. I know everybody is wondering right now, what is she making now? I'm making War Su Gai Gina Young style. Make you some. Timer just went off to let me know that my flavored rice is done, so I'm super excited about that. So I'm just going to turn that part of the stove off, and I'm going to take the lid off of the rice, and I'll show it to you once I fluff it up. The rice is done. Well, I want to let it cook a little bit longer. It's almost done. Let's thicken up our gravy. You're wondering what's cooking on the back part of my stove. It's some chicken thighs. It's not seasoned. It's just chicken thighs that I'm going to shred up for my dogs because they're so spoiled. They like chicken soup. Here is our gravy. After you turn it off, it will thicken up to the perfect consistency that you're looking for. Yum. This chicken, and it was super easy to make. Nice, beautiful, golden brown crispiness. You're gonna love. When I come back, I make a plate. You get to try. Look at this. If y'all enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Tell your family and friends. Tell the world what Gina's doing in this kitchen on a daily basis. And Heavenly Father, once again, we thank you for this meal and your hedge of protection and your love. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Show you how you eat it. So you can see that I gotta put the green onions on for flavor and color. Gotta put the peanuts on. You're going to literally take a piece of this lettuce that has the peanuts and green onions, take a piece of meat, dip it in the gravy, wrap that thing, and go at it. Hands down my favorite recipe. Make you some. You're gonna love this.